there, trophy hunters. I've got another video this evening that I'd like to do. And this one has to deal with 4 p.m. again. So we're talking a little bit about this radio in this newest series of videos. And what I'd like to talk about is something called, in the functions, called system. Why do we want to look at system? System offers quite a few things. Let's go ahead and crank it up. I'm going to turn on to 4 p.m. I know from experience that system is under 4. You can see it right there at the bottom. Now, you could scroll down and go down and get there, but you can actually scroll up with the up as well, and you get right to it. I'm going to center press. So, what's available here? Well, the ones that I'm particularly interested in is contrast. That's actually kind of handy if you're in a bright sunlight or maybe racing indoors. If you're, an electric car racer or whatever, you're racing indoors. And then, but this one right here, this is the backlight timer. So the backlight timer, I think factory is 15 seconds, or maybe it's 10. I can't remember. But you can go ahead and crank that up to 30. Sometimes when you're using this radio system, you're going through the menus and everything's great, and all of a sudden the backlight goes out. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I was right in the middle of something. Well, the maximum is 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and let's change that. I'll turn that down. So if I turn it down to 1, bam, see it go out? I'm going to crank it up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. See it? So I like to have that all the way up because I don't know why, but I feel like I've been interrupted in some way when I'm going through and all of a sudden the backlight turns out. It'll use a little more battery power. I'm not sure that really means much to us in this day and age with LIFE technology and these radios. I mean, they last so long anyway. I just use dry cells in mine. I don't use it that often, but when I do, it's easy enough to just pop more dry cells in. Another thing that's worth noting is the battery. And this is basically battery type. 3 dry cells, LIFE 2 cells. Now you can see it's giving me a warning because that's 5.8 volts, and I only have 3.8 volts in it. Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's a nice thing to have. So make sure that whatever battery chemistry you have in there, that you adjust that setting so that you get a proper warning if the batteries start going low. Another thing we'll jump down to is the display. Now this may have changed in the latest version. I have to update this one. But here we can actually scroll through current, user, timer, or receiver voltage. And what that does is that's actually the information displayed on the racing screen. Either the driver, the things that I went through, receiver voltage, stuff like that. I like to have the receiver voltage available when I'm looking down. I want to see what the receiver voltage is in the boat. And that's part of the telemetry, and that shows up on display. Let me go ahead and end out of this. My receiver voltage would be right down here. So you can see that's pretty handy. So anyway, system functions, system. Allows you to get to a lot of that information, all of that information actually, like the display and what kind of information you want on the display, to what kind of cells are in the thing. It's pretty handy. So anyway, that's called, again, one last time, system, menu 4 towards the bottom, and go ahead and make adjustments there. In particular, I really like that backlight timer. 30 seconds, max that baby out. Anyway, we're just talking about the 4 p.m. and the object is to get you faster winning trophies. Groom Racer Trophy Hunter Series. Like and subscribe. We'll see you down at the pond. Later.